Hello, hello, beautiful being. Good morning. It is a wonderful day and a great day to talk about meditating. Yay, meditating. How exciting. Now, the actual act of meditating is basically anything but exciting, though it does make me excited to talk about. For years ago, I wanted to establish a meditation practice. I knew that meditation had something to offer that my life really needed. And I went to some workshops. I read some things on how to meditate, and I tried a variety of ways, but nothing stuck. I always felt like I was doing it wrong and it wasn't enjoyable. And I just kept quitting over and over again. And it wasn't until I went to a 10-day Vipassana silent retreat that I really learned the fundamentals of meditating. And it wasn't until I attended this same retreat for the second time that I established a meditation practice for myself. Now, that's not to say if you don't already have a meditation practice that that's what you need to do in order to establish a meditation practice. My hope is that I can help you to establish a meditation practice by sharing with you what I use on a daily basis that has worked for me for the last 16 years. Now, tomorrow I am going to guide you through my personal daily meditation. And my hope is that as I guide you through it, you'll see how simple it is and you'll be able to stay focused on the task at hand, which is simply meditating in the future so that you can establish your own meditation practice. Now, why do you want to meditate? Why do you want to establish a meditation practice? Because of the multitude of benefits, some of which are it reduces anxiety and stress, it reduces panic attacks and depression. And did you know that stress is the number one cause of biological aging? And so meditation then slows down the aging process. Yay! It increases intuition, creativity, peace, and happiness. It allows you to experience your emotions without judgment and without reactivity. So can you imagine how amazing to feel really frustrated or any of the emotions that we hate to experience and be able to not react to it? And then if we do react to it, wouldn't it be amazing to not judge ourselves and continue to beat ourselves up over it throughout the day? Well, meditation is going to help you to be able to achieve that. It also increases your ability to be in the present moment throughout your daily life. It slows down the amount and the frequency of thoughts coming through your brain. Now, I know you think, maybe you think, I want more thoughts. I have a lot of great thoughts. Well, what we want is the quality of thoughts, not necessarily the quantity of thoughts. And by gaining control over our minds, we allow space for inspiration to come so that we are more in tuned and able to receive those high quality thoughts and ideas. Also, you will receive increased mental focus and clarity, and external events will no longer govern your internal life experience, which means that you can be happy throughout the day, regardless of what's going on around you. Doesn't that sound amazing? Now, the human brain has been called the monkey mind because it's got thoughts bouncing all over the place all the time, like 24/7. Your brain's job is to think thoughts. It's also to keep you safe. So a lot of times our brains are busy looking for threats and calculating what could possibly go wrong. And if you have been stuck in this kind of a mindset, which maybe you might call worry, you know that it's really not a productive place to be. And by establishing a meditative practice, we can then, if we start to worry, we can then assess the situation and decide whether or not there's something actually to worry about, and then take action in that situation, so that we're being proactive. So yeah, as we begin to gain control of our minds, we can then direct our thoughts to thoughts that serve us better and make us feel happier. And effectively, it's going to change our lives. Now, my favorite thing about meditation is that it increases my intuition. And back in the day when I was doing property management, I was taking the Silva Life System, which is an amazing program that I highly recommend. You can get it on Mindvalley. This program helps you to learn how to control your mind and how to program your mind. And it has a large meditation component. Now, when I was doing property management, my boss used to come a couple times a month to the office to check up on us and, see what was going on. And my boss had just visited the day before. And I just had this feeling that he was going to be walking through the door any minute. Like, I was really expecting him. So I got everything on my desk, looking the way it should look when the boss comes in. And sure enough, the boss came in, and I knew it. So he leaves, and the girl down the street calls and says, "Can you believe he stopped by the office 2 days in a row?" I said, "I knew he was going to. How did you know?" Well, I had to explain to her that I just happened to be tapped into the matrix. I had a feeling. And meditation is a great way to get yourself tapped in and in tune to the subtle forces of nature and energy that allows you to know things without being told things. Now, meditation is a progressive practice, which means that the more you do it, the easier it gets and the better you get at it. So you can receive benefit from one meditation session, though all of the benefits that I read off to you earlier will come to you with a steady practice. And I promise you, as you continue to show up every single day, it'll get easier, more rewarding, and more enjoyable. Now, if you are new at meditating, you may ask, how often should I meditate? And for how long? And when should I do it? I personally recommend doing it first thing in the morning. That's when I meditate. You can do it in the afternoon. You can do it in the evening. The reason I don't meditate in the evening is because I'm tired in the evening. I'm getting ready for sleep, and it's not an optimal time to try and focus my mind. I love doing it first thing in the morning because what it does for me is it establishes a home base within me that I can return to at any time during the day when I need it. So, for example, I meditate in the morning and I create this place of peace and stillness within me. And if I'm driving to work and I'm in traffic, or if I'm in line at the post office and I need to be somewhere else soon, or if someone's rude to me, I can draw upon this place of peace and quiet and comfort that I can bring into my current life experience. And it's much easier to get there when you've already been there today, earlier in the day. So how often should you meditate? Every single day. Do it every single day. That is the best way to train your brain to receive the wonderful benefits of meditation. Some people do it twice a day. Also, I recommend doing it anytime you feel chaotic, or if you get into an argument with someone and you're still kind of fighting the fight in your head. The best thing to do is to meditate and put some space in between you and what's going on out there and all those thoughts you have. And oftentimes, the quiet will bring a clarity that is really needed in that situation. Now, I receive the most benefit when I meditate for 30 minutes a day. Now, I don't always feel that I have the luxury of 30 minutes a day. So my minimum commitment is 15 minutes. So on average, I'll do 15 or 20 minutes. And now that I'm talking about it, I'm thinking maybe I'll bump it up to 30 minutes because it's been a while since 30 minutes was my norm. And I really receive great benefit from 30 minutes. But if you're new, start at 5 minutes. And if it's easy, then tomorrow do 10 minutes. And if 10 minutes is easy, then the next day do 15 minutes. If 10 minutes is challenging, then the next day do 10 minutes again. You made it 10 minutes the first day, even though it was hard. The next day, do it again. And you may even find that the next day is more challenging, might be less challenging, might be the same amount of challenging, but that third day, you're going to really start getting a hang of it. And then after that, you bump it up again. So bump it up in 5-minute increments. What do you need to meditate? Well, this is my favorite part because I love simple, easy, and free. You really don't need anything to meditate. You need a quiet and comfortable space. And if you live in an environment that makes that challenging, I challenge you to think outside of the box and find a way to make it work. Meditate in the bathtub. Go into a closet and meditate in the closet, which is actually an amazing place to meditate. Set an alarm for half an hour before anyone wakes up. Or you can put in some earbuds and listen to white noise, such as a vacuum cleaner or ocean waves or any kind of consistent noise that's just going to drown out the background noise that's in your house. So a quiet, comfortable space. Also, your body should be comfortable. So if it's cold, grab a blanket. Now, you need to sit in a comfortable position. You can sit on the floor, on your bed, in a straight back chair. The most important thing is that your spine is straight, and like their whole vertebrae is straight. So you have one vertebrae sitting on top of the other so that you can sit in a very comfortable way. You're easily balanced, and you're not leaning back. You don't want to lean back because you'll find after a few minutes that you're not in an erect posture, and you'll start to get pains in your neck or your shoulders. Now, that's not to say that if you start to get a pain in your neck or your shoulders and you are sitting with your spine in alignment, that you're doing it wrong. It's just new to you, and your body will get used to it. I personally usually meditate on my bed, cross-legged position with my hands flat on my thighs. And then the last thing you need is an alarm. You will find, especially if you're new at meditating, that 1 minute is going to feel like 5 minutes, and 2 minutes might feel like 10 minutes at first. So an alarm is so helpful because your brain, the amazing, wonderful tool that it is going to try to remind you, try to tell you. Well, also you have to remember that your brain is going to be fighting with you because your brain wants to think thoughts, and it wants to go on and wants to figure things out and go on all these pathways and journeys, and that doesn't serve you. This is your time to train the brain. So your brain will say things like, oh, I gotta go text my friend, or, oh, it's really, let me write this down. I have to write down this thing that I have to go do later. Tell your brain to remind you when the alarm goes off, and remind yourself that this is your time. You are gifting yourself this time for your own personal care. And eventually it will get easier and those thoughts will subside. Now, tomorrow, I am going to guide you through my morning meditation. It's not the only way to meditate. It's just the way that I meditate. It is the way that I've been able to get it to stick. I think I mentioned that already. And sometimes I mix it up and I do other things, but this is just my go-to, and I'm really looking forward to sharing that with you. There are plenty of guided meditations on YouTube, and those are great because it's easy to stay focused when another person is taking you along on their journey. The downside to that is, one, you need YouTube, and two, you are not getting the focus and the control and the quiet, but the control over your brain that you are working towards and that you are establishing when you have your own meditation practice. So that's all I have for you today. Thank you for watching. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow, and go make it a great day. Bye.